self-builders. I'm project managing a development of 2x 3-bedroom properties in the middle of East London. Now let me show you how I plan to put the project plan together. So for those of you that are new to the channel, if you've been following along the series, you're fully aware of what's going on and all the challenges and struggles we face to get to this point where we're nearly starting the drainage phase of the self-build development project, building 2x 3-bedroom properties. From next week, we plan to put together a project plan that encapsulates the entire duration of the project, tells us what tasks we need, what resources we need to get us all the way to the end of the project. The purpose of this channel is to give people value and also to document our journey through the process. On this episode, what I want to do is just give you some key fundamentals that are important to know before you start your endeavor into whatever self-project you decide to proceed with. I recently quit my 9-to-5 job as an infrastructure project manager to pursue my own dreams. Now let's get straight into this. So in order to create your project plan, you're going to need 3 key elements. Number 1, you're going to need milestones. Milestones are fundamental markers that demonstrate major accomplishments in your project. An example of a milestone would be getting your planning permission, approval, accepted. Number 2 on the list, tasks. Tasks are assigned pieces of work that need to be completed within a certain time frame. They need to have an owner, so somebody to do the task. They need to have a start date, and they need to have a completion date. Once you have these 3 key elements and understand them, that's all you're going to need to plan your self-build project. As I mentioned earlier, next week, we're planning to run a workshop for which we're going to get an end-to-end plan completed. I'm putting together some milestones, so we're not starting from a blank slate next week, Wednesday, when we work with the architect and other resources to put together this project plan. I've grouped the milestones that I'm going to be discussing with the team next week into 3 phases. Number 1, pre-planning conditions. So these will be taken from the planning approval letter for which granted you your approval to start your self-build project in the first place. Number 2, building control milestones. So we've got private building control in place and they've already reviewed our building control documents. So that will be the second element that we'll need to look at from a milestone perspective. And number 3, most important, the construction milestones. So with the construction milestones, what we're looking to do is see each phase of the project from start to finish and what tasks we need to complete. So within our planning conditions, you've got things like bringing up the drop curb, you've got working out your green roof, and you've also got cycle parking. I mentioned in previous videos, but pre-planning conditions are critical and a lot of people miss these, and they could potentially leave you in a position where you're unable to rent or sell your property if your planning conditions are not met. So make sure you read through your planning approval letter very carefully to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. Make a list of all your building control milestones that are relevant to your project. These are things like excavations, foundations, damp proofing, fire safety, electrical safety, and so on and so on. Then we have the construction milestones. So things like drainage, foundations, landscaping, demolition, scaffolding. Then once you've identified all of your milestones against those key areas, the next steps is to work out the tasks needed to achieve each of those milestones for each of those 3 phases that I've just mentioned. And that's what we're going to be putting together in the middle of next week and working out with the team. So stay tuned for the next episode where hopefully we'll have those tasks in and I can walk you through them. If you found this video valuable, like and subscribe to the channel, support the movement, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.